Now the Spirit of the Lord is the one that speaks through me. Before my mother's womb, He ordained and knew me, ransomed me, and placed His words upon my tongue. Few are chosen, rest assured that I am one, an ambassador for Christ, His beloved Son, and by His word, let souls be one. So welcome everyone to this listening party. Sit back and let your souls be hearty. Celebrate with me the gift that God has imparted. And what better way to get this party started than to give Him the stage, because He knows where your heart is. Holy Spirit, you are welcome in this place. Give me the boldness to look upon each face and speak every word that you've given me to say. With no fear, I speak truth. I won't deviate, and I'm confident that all will go great. So let your presence saturate this place. I breathe in your spirit, I intake a river full of life, water in every dry place. As I flow to the notes that heaven navigates, let it bless every listener and free them today. Let the truth of your word draw souls to be saved. Let the Comforter comfort hearts today, and let the light of your word show them the way. Every time I write, I tell His story as I bask in the truth of His word before me. He opens up to me and shows me His glory. He gives me the strength to keep on soaring, and when I open up my mouth for Him, I'm roaring. And the Spirit of the Lord goes before me, to the captive set free. That's reassuring. Over the years, He strengthened my inner core, and every day I wake up just seeking Him more. Am I ready for this? In my spirit, I'm sure. I am in Christ, and my Father I adore. He redeemed me from destruction. I am His ambassador. As the world turns and open up the door, I step in with purpose to win souls for the Lord. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of His word before me. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of His word before me. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of His word before me. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of His word before me. Every time I write, I tell the story as I bask in the truth of His word before me.
Hey, gang, welcome to Tom the Bomb Sports Talk, the fastest growing show in the world. It's Monday, April 20th, and this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. If you don't think it's a great day, just try missing one. And we, LOVE, love sports and the Word of God on the Tom the Bomb Show. Hey, gang, I'm your host, yep, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Our Facebook channel is Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. You can also contact us by email at info@tomthebombsports.com. That's info@tomthebombsports.com. And of course, you can always visit our website at www.tomthebombsports.com. Hey, gang, we'd like to personally thank you guys for your prayers, your support, and for you contributing to the show and our ministry. We sincerely thank you for that. With that, we appreciate your patronage, and you can bless us to keep creating compelling content and spreading the word of God. Our business cash app here is hashtag $Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. Again, that's $Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. We sincerely thank you, and may God bless you a hundredfold return on the seed that you sow into our ministry at the Tom the Bomb Show. As usual, we want to start off by thanking God for all the wonderful things He's done all the way through 2025 and carrying us on into 2026 as well. But what we're excited about, Felix, what we're excited about, Troy, is the new things happening in 2026. And our theme for 2026 is the year of discovery for grace for beyond to infinity and beyond in 2026. So we can be transformed to a level that none of us has walked in before. And 2026 can literally be the best year of our lives. That's what we were believing for. That's what we pushing for. That's what we called it. Our foundational scripture for 2026 is found for the whole year in 2 Peter 3:18. And this is the Good News Translation Bible. And it says, but continue to grow in the grace and the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. To Him be the glory now and forever. Amen. To God be the glory. Right, Dad? Yep, 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 yep. Hey, gang, I'm pleased to announce our Community Hope Center at VCCI, Victory Christian Church International. We've started our grocery distribution program, and we're feeding 50 families. 50 families in the designated zip codes, okay? And it's on the third Saturday of each month at 11 a.m. Eastern. Our location is at 7-7 Metropolitan Court in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Our zip code there is 20878, and it's open to all the residents of the following zip codes. That's 20877, 20878, 20879, 20855, and 20882, and anyone that lives in Montgomery Village Avenue. And it's on a first come, first served basis while supplies last. You can scan the QR code to register, or you can also register on site. That is available, but all participants must complete a registration form. Please, 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 please. Hey, gang, our goal is to work up to 100 families soon. So be in agreement with us to get to this goal. You know, our beloved pastor Dwayne Bridges used to say, if a church leaves a community and the community that missed the church, then the church was never supposed to be there. So we want to be a blessing to the community that we serve. Amen. All righty. Let's get to our poll question. We got a poll question today, and we're going to start our discussion off with the poll question. The poll question is, will the defending champions OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder, repeat as the NBA champions? Troy, we got no trivia. Let's get right to the poll question. Troy, will OKC repeat?
Uh, no.
You're come on, man. Don't make me laugh right from the beginning, man. Just
What? I mean, yeah.
Tro- Tro- thank you, man. I appreciate that. I needed that today, man. So let me see. Felix, will OKC repeat?
Far tougher question than it looks like. I would actually say no, believe it or not.
Okay, well, at least you was longer. You knew a little bit long way. Okay, Troy, tell me why you think OKC won't repeat, and then Felix, you tell me why you think they. I know it's going to be hard, but tell us why, Troy.
There you go. Um, I mean, here's the thing, man. You know, as good as OKC is, I think the league. Well, one, the Spurs don't fear OKC at all,
Okay,
and they better
thank you.
hope that they don't have to play the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. But with that said, though, I mean, the league. It's not like OKC is head over heels the best team in the NBA, in my opinion.
Hmm,
I see a couple teams that, even though their records may not, compete with it in the 7 game series,
mhm.
the Nuggets are dangerous. The Spurs are dangerous. I see the Celtics with Jason Tatum getting back into a groove is dangerous.
Mhm.
They gotta go through a couple teams to even get to the finish line. So for me, because of that, I'll say no.
Okay, Felix, you want to tell us why you say no?
Right. So it's a number of reasons. So of course we talked about the Spurs. I think that OKC could take on the Spurs, but here's another thing. You're not going to like this. This sounds crazy, but we're talking about the Lakers a few weeks ago, right? We're
Oh,
talking
don't
about
go, don't, Felix, don't go there. Don't do it. Don't do it, Felix. Back up, back off the ledge, Felix. Don't do it, Felix. We love you, Felix. Don't jump. Don't do it, Felix.
No, I gotta go back.
Don't do it, Felix. Don't go that Baker route. We love you. We'll get a cash go going for you, Felix. Don't do it.
no, I can't.
I want to hear this.
Hey, I like doing this. Y'all are hilarious. So, like I was saying, Lakers, we're talking about their line combos and the fact that Luka Doncic, although he's out, we saw what they did to the Rockets. Now, it's a different level. There are levels to it, but at the same time, OKC has some challengers out in the West. But here's the thing: I'm looking out east. I'm thinking the Celtics are the easy favorite out east. I mean, Jason Tatum's back; they're on a tear. They're looking like 2024. And honestly speaking, if the Celtics win the East, I honestly, if OKC had a problem with the Pacers last year, I don't see them beating a healthy Celtics team in the finals.
Okay. Troy, I was just bragging on how much you care about Felix, and you let him go that right. You let him do that,
I
man.
respect that, man. Thank you.
Come on, Troy.
Good point. I'm not a respectful person. I'm respectful of you know what you're talking about. This man knows what he's talking about. Now, don't sleep on LA neither. That's something where it's on the back burner. They're not the best team in the West, but if they can find a way to get through this round without Luka and Austin Reeves, they gonna be a problem as well. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about it.
I am totally Whip Van Winkle sleeping on the LA Fakers. What you guys have today, man? Whatever it is, I want some of it. You guys are funny. Lori says, "Come on, come on." Let's get to it, gang. The 2026 NFL Draft. The NFL Draft starts on Thursday. It's going to be from April 23rd to the 25th in Pittsburgh, featuring 257 total picks, all the way down to Mr. Irrelevant, known as the last player picked at 257. This year's draft has a major rule change, though, that will shorten the first round picker times from 10 minutes down to 8 minutes. Eligible players must be at least 3 years removed from high school, and with 33 I can't talk, compensatory selections included, rounds 2 through 7 will maintain their standard clock reduction in minutes. Rounds 2 and 3 get 7 minutes to pick. Rounds 4 through 6 get 5 minutes to pick, and round 7 gets 4 minutes to pick. If a team fails to submit their pick on time, they do not lose it, but the next team can pick first. This 2026 draft class is good regarding its depth, particularly in the offensive line, linebackers, and safety positions. There are many starting level players, but not elite top prospects at the very, very top. The known diamonds are really going to be found from picks 1 through 60. The offensive line is very, very deep with 7 or more first round candidates. The wide receivers is also considered a strong class with high depth, likely producing multiple first round selections. The linebackers and safeties, though, that's where the cream is. They're seen as the elite group suitable for today's modern game. So let's get to the top of the board, feature high value edge players and safeties. Instead of elite QBs with strong talent existing in the middle rounds. Uh, Quarterbacks generally in this draft, the quarterback class is considered come see come sa average to below average, with the exception of the 2 to 3 likely first rounders, including candidates like Fernando Mendoza. Uh, the running backs, though, are viewed as weak and mediocre class, okay, compared to last year's 25 class, compared to last year. The overall view is this class is going to produce starters, but not necessarily stars. Okay. The top prospect, let's go over the top prospects at each position, guys. And, we have to start with the quarterbacks. And at the top, you guys tell me how you guys feel about this. We got Fernando Mendoza at 1, Ty Simpson at 2. Some people think he should go for Mendoza, but they had what Felix and Troy had earlier today. Carson Beck at 3, Garrett Nussmeyer at 4, and Drew Alar at 5. Troy, tell me about the top 5 quarterbacks and what your thoughts are?
Well, Fernando Mendoza definitely sticks out of all those guys, without a doubt. But I'll say in regards to guys like Ty Simpson, he's a guy that can come in and sit back for a few years and then take over your team when necessary. I think if he goes to a scenario like the Jets, where he has to like step in and be that guy, probably quicker than what he should be, I think his room. But in regards to like a team like Pittsburgh or a team, that just has a veteran in their later years that can, kind of groom them for the next 4 to 5, I think he would be a great fit. Now, after that, I don't really know too much about the rest of these prospects, so I'm not going to act like I do. But one thing I will say though is that the guys that come in, there won't be any pressure. They'll be able to sit back.
That's
Good
good.
teams will be able to have a good backup. And with injuries, especially like we witnessed last year, it's always good to have a good backup that can come in and just keep the boat afloat.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I got Carson Beck at 3. He just took Miami to the national championship, and he did well, but I just don't see all of the maybe his career is an NFL backup, and that's okay, but I'm not seeing anything more than that. Felix, what's your thoughts on these top 5 QBs?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Mendoza at the first round, but I'd say something about this year's draft. You're seeing a lot of skill players, and a lot of people aren't saying too much about. I'd say this is one of the first drafts, one of the few drafts that I've noticed people aren't saying too much about quarterbacks. They're
Hmm.
looking at
Hmm.
receivers, defensive players, running backs. They're
Hmm.
looking across the board, and I'd say it's a unique year in that regard. So there are going to be a lot of surprises. Usually, when a team drafts a quarterback, usually it's an obvious need.
Hmm.
But since this year they're not a lot ahead of the board, it shows that hey, a lot of projected draft picks from mainstream sources, I think a lot of them are going to be wrong this year.
Like a lot of years, Felix. Okay, Felix, let's talk with the running backs because compared to 2025, a lot of people think this draft is kind of light in the running back position, but not at the top position. At number one, we got Jeremiah Love. Number two, Jadarian Price. Number three, Emmett Johnson. Number four, Jonah Coleman, and number five, Mike Washington Jr., whom I love, whom I would be if the Commanders don't pull in Jeremiah Love. Man, I would love to see them pick up Mike Washington Jr. Felix, let's go with the running backs first. What's your thoughts?
So with the running backs, of course, Jeremiah Love. Obviously, I mean, are we going to talk about what teams are going to be picking what, or are we just talking about the draft picks? I don't want to get too ahead of
We just
myself here.
we just talking about the picks right now. We're gonna get to all that. We this is the draft show, man. We gonna pop the hood and look at everything, Felix. So let's just talk about these five players for now, right now.
All right, perfect. So I would say obviously Jeremiah Love would go first, but I would say for all the others, it would depend on what team is looking for what kind of run scheme. There are different types of runners. Obviously, you have the power runners, people have poor overall just solid runners. Then of course you have the speed guys. So I think that with the running back position, again, really hard to say who's going to go where, especially when you consider what needs, what combinations, what sort of combinations they want in the running back cores, and also another thing, what teams are prioritizing getting a running back. So that's, I would say again, that's a really tough call here too.
Okay. Troy, all year long I've been telling people and telling you guys that the team that passes on Ruben Bain is going to regret it. But I think the team that ends up with Mike Washington Jr. is going to be thrilled. What's your thought of these top running backs, Troy?
Well, I mean, we talk about Jeremiah a lot, so of course, I think the Giants made this move to try to make this, dream a reality of being able to just get best fit player available, which I think will be Jeremiah Love, and then be able to go a different route later. But in regards to every other running back, one thing I'll say is one, Jadarian Price don't really get a lot of recognition as RB2 at Notre Dame, but the dude averaged 6 yards a carry almost every year that he played for the Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. So I'm looking at, Jadarian Price being like a 5'11", 6'10", 215 back. That's a good third down option, for any team that needs, that change of pace back on third down. And you look at, Mike Washington, who I think is going to be a Seahawk at the end of the first round. I think he, with his size and speed, is going to translate. You don't see guys that big that run 4.3. So, ultimately, in regards to just everybody else, again, there's a lot of change of pace backs that are going to come in and not be the starter, but then, late in fantasy, you might want to pick them up.
Man, you always amaze me with the things that you know about the draft and these guys coming up. Because I don't watch as much. Well, I don't watch nearly as much college or high school football as you do, Troy. And I'm always amazed at the stuff that you know about these guys. But that's an excellent point. That with the Seattle Seahawks moving on from their MVP Super Bowl performer and sending to the Mother Wigs Kansas City Chiefs, you are absolutely correct. Mike Washington will fill in fantastic in Seattle in that exact same role, and I like him so much. I don't even know if they'll miss a beat. That's a great point, Troy. Let's get to our wide receivers. Our top five wide receivers. We've got Jordan Tyson. Excuse me, Cornell Tate, who's rumored to be a commander. And then we got Chris Broswell II, Malachi Fields, and Denzel Boston. Troy, what's your take on these top receivers?
All of them might be gone by the first round.
Wow,
Uh,
all of them.
and if not all of them, I'm gonna say at least four are gonna be drafted within the first round. You got some heavy hitters as wide receivers here. Carnell Tate, I think, is the best receiver in this draft, but I look at a guy like KC Concepcion, where he doesn't really have like the size, but when it comes to just being a burner and just running away from people, man, he can do that very well. So
Well,
I'm
Troy,
looking
I
at
got him in my slot. I actually broke the receiver because you're right. This draft is rich at the receiver position, so I actually broke it down to wide receiver and slot receivers, and I have Concepcion in the slot, so we'll get to him too. But that's a great point. I'm
yep,
sorry. Go
but
ahead.
no, it's okay. But ultimately, again, you got size, and then you got who can play as the Julian Edelman, who can play as that guy that can just make it hard for strong safeties and weak side linebackers to have to think about. So, yeah, I think, ultimately, as deep as the defense is, the wide receiver position is up there too. Makai Lemon, big time, go get it type receiver, definitely reminds me of a guy that went there a few years ago by the name of Drake London. So, they're deep.
Okay, so listen, Troy, I want you and Felix to answer this. If and we know that I know both of you guys are Commander fans, and everybody have their wish list. I know Troy, since day one, you've been saying you want Caleb Downs, and if Jeremiah Love is available, everybody and their mama have to take him. You know what I'm saying? But if those guys are not there, Sonny Styles, but both of you guys answer this. If Cornell Tate is there at 7, do the Commanders take Cornell Tate? Troy, yes or no?
No.
No. Okay.
As much as I want to say yeah, no.
Okay. Felix, take that. Do if Cornell Tate is there at 7, do the Commanders take that? And then tell me what you think about these 5 receivers, Felix.
No, they're definitely not going to do that. And I'd say for those receivers, again, all talented players, but Washington, I don't see them taking a receiver in the first round.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go. Felix, since we're on this, let's go ahead and work in the slot receivers. We got Makai Lemon, Omar Cooper Jr., Zachariah Branch, KC Concepcion, and Antonio Williams. What's your thoughts on those 5 slots, Felix?
Yeah, I would say definitely for those slot receivers, I would say definitely if you're a team like Washington, okay, if you're talking slot receivers, someone who's probably going to be there for the second or later rounds. I know Washington currently is at 6, doesn't have any second round picks, but I'd say, yeah, Washington could definitely experiment a little bit in the wide receiver room. Now, I would, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because you want to keep it strictly with the picks.
I appreciate that, Felix. I appreciate that. I know it's hard to land the plane, Felix. Land the plane.
Yeah, so I'd say again, it's just going to come down to what teams need more depth at their receiver core. So definitely, if you're a team that already has a starter, that I would say that if you're a team that already has a good starter, you're going to pick those slot receivers to bolster your roster. But other than that, I generally don't think teams that don't have their star player are going to worry too much about the slot. They want to build that star position, and they're going to have more of a radar for that.
Troy, and those slot receivers, Makai Lemon, Omar Cooper Jr., Zachariah Branch, Casey Concepcion, and Antonio Williams. Who do you like most out of that slot pack, Troy?
Uh, I like Omar Cooper. I look at the size standpoint of being like a 6 foot, 205, 210 solid build. Reminds me of a little bit of a taller version of Steve Smith. Of course, we talked about KC. Like I said, KC got that afterburner, and when you got the element that you can't teach in speed, you naturally stand out, right? So, I look at, a lot of teams in the draft that's going to look at him later in the first round.
Isn't it a rule, Felix, that you correct me if I'm wrong, Felix, but isn't it in the bylaws and rules of cheating for Kansas City that KC Concepcion has to go to the KC Chiefs? Is that a rule, Felix?
It's a good one.
You're so funny, man. Let's get to our tight ends. He's so funny like you. Let's get to our tight ends. At the top of the list, we got Kenyon Sadiq, who is we got Max Clare, Dalen Bentley, Eli Stars, and Joe Royer at the top 5. Troy, let's talk about Kenyon Sadiq. Troy, go ahead.
Speed, man. Speed at the tight end position. Kyle Pitts comparison in regards to just when you get in my ball, when I get the ball in my hand, not only am I trying to get a first down, I have enough speed to possibly get a touchdown. So, uh, you know, in today's day and age of football, I think the Ravens have done a great job of utilizing the 3 tight end set because ultimately, when you see 3 tight ends on the field, more often than not, you think in a run is happening, especially when you got Derrick Henry in the backfield with Lamar Jackson, right? So the fact that the tight end position is becoming more valuable, I think that ups his value in regards to teams looking at him high. Now, I don't see him going as high as many people think he is, but again, if you draft him, just know you're getting the value of Kyle Pitts without having to spend a top 5 pick to get Kyle Pitts.
Felix, who do you like in that tight end bunch, Felix? Felix.
You already know who I'm going to say in terms of tight ends.
Oh,
Like we've already discussed this player earlier on.
okay, tell us again, Phyllis. This is the draft show.
You remember Kenyon Sadiq, right? You're
Yep, yep.
saying not just a regular, he's not just a standard tight end, but he's a tight end who can make that spectacular catch. He's a tight end with what you call wide receiver speed. And on another episode, remember we're talking about the Mount Rushmore, so to speak, of wide receivers
Mhm.
and how people are throwing tight ends on there when we know tight ends typically are not covered by the fastest guy on the field
Right.
because they're normally not the fastest guys on the field. Kenyon Sadiq, that skill set, never seen before in a tight end. If it pans out, you're talking about a guy who can carry his team in a similar way to how Kittle does for the 49ers, Kelsey does for the Chiefs, and how Gronk did for the Patriots in the previous decade.
Mhm. Yeah, I think he'd be a great successor in Kansas City to Kelsey. That'd be something. Let's get to the rich part, the offensive tackles. Well, number one, I got Spencer Fano, Francis Mugoa, Caleb Lumu, Caden Proctor, and Monroe Freeling. Troy, tell us about these. Tell us about the big uglies, Troy.
Well, it always starts in the trenches. I think Francis Mayoga out of Miami is by far the best offensive tackle in this draft, and it's not close. I think teams early are gonna potentially even trade up to go get a guy like that. I look at him and I look at Penei Sewell, from a few years ago when he came out of college and just the impact that he had for the Lions instantly. So I look at Francis as being a guy like that. You got other guys, just talking about tackles. Monroe Freeling out of Georgia, big body, loves to run block, can get to the second level. Um, I'm looking at that as, late in the first round, potentially, somebody to think about. And then, you got Spencer out of Utah, a little bit more agile, but again, powerful. So, it's a lot of, good prospects at the tackle position, first round perspective.
Felix, who do you like of the offensive tackles?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have a clear favorite in offensive tackles right now.
Not a problem. Way to land that plane. Okay, let's get to the Tom Bomb's big board. Okay, I'm going to shoot out my big board here, and you guys just let me know what you think of these big boards, and then we're going to get into it and hash it. At number one, I got Fernando Mendoza. Number two, I got Arvell Reese. Number three, David Bailey. Number four, Jeremiah Love. Number five, Sonny Styles. Number six, Francis Mangola. Number seven, Carnell Tate. We all know who's picking at seven. Number eight, Caleb Downs. Number nine, Ruben Bain. Number 10, Mansour Delaney, who I love. Number 11, Spencer Fano. Number 12, Makai Lemon. Number 13, Monroe Freeling. Number 14, Jamar McCoy. And at number 15, Tom the Bomb's big board, I got Jordan Tyson. Troy, what do you think of those guys? What do we think of that list?
I agree with one, and then I disagree almost every other pick.
Okay.
Oh. Hey,
True father son relationship.
no, I'm just saying I don't agree with that. Number one.
My
But,
man.
So here, I got, of course, everybody knows Fernando Mendoza's going to Vegas. That's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Number two, David Bailey. David Bailey is the best edge rusher in this draft. Compared to Arvell Reese, he's a known product that you're not rolling the dice on.
So you
With
like
that
so
said,
so you like him, David Bailey, ahead of Arvell Reese?
especially for the Jets.
Okay.
Especially for the Jets.
Okay.
Arvell Reese at 3 to Arizona.
Mhm.
Number 4, Francis Mayoga, offensive tackle to Tennessee. Number 5, Jeremiah Love to the New York Giants.
Okay, Troy, you jumped ahead of me because we were going to do the 32 picks, but that sounds like what you're doing now. I was just asking you about
Oh,
my top 15.
You know what? I'll stay quiet.
That's no. We get ready to do that next. I was just asking you about that top 15 I put out, but you know what? That's where we're going. So let's get there. Let me just say this real quick. This was Fox Sports top 10 picks. So let's look at Fox Sports top 10 picks. Okay, they've got Fernando Mendoza at 1. They got Dante Moore at 2. They got Jeremiah Love at 3. Arvell Reese at 4, Carnell Tate at 5, Spencer Fano at 6, Caleb Downs at 7, Keldrick Falk at 8, Kenyon Sadiq at 9, and Jamar McCoy at 10. Now I'm with you, Troy. I don't agree with none of those, but other than one. So let's get to what we want to do. Let's so what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to actually go to the draft, and both of you, all three of us, are going to pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. We're gonna do the draft, and we're going to say who they should pick or not. So Troy, go ahead and kick us off. Las Vegas has the number 1 pick. Who is Las Vegas taking at number 1, Troy?
Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana.
Felix, who's Las Vegas taking?
Oh, Mendoza.
Okay, we are all in agreement on number one, and that might be the last time we agree for this evening for this show. Las Vegas, Fernando Mendoza. All right, Troy, number two, the New York Jets. Who are the New York Jets taking, Troy?
David Bailey.
David Bailey. Okay. Felix, who do you think the Jets are taking?
Yeah, I think it's David Bailey. That's a solid one.
Okay, Tom the Bomb says they're taking Arvell Reese. I think Arvell Reese is going number two to the Jets. At number three, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Troy, who are the Arizona Cardinals taking?
Arvell Reed.
Arvell Reese. Okay. Felix?
Oh, it's going to be crazy if I agree with Troy 3 straight times.
No, it's not going to be crazy. That's what you think. That's not going to be crazy.
I
That's what
agree
you think.
100%. Like, I mean, I think definitely by 7 we should all have something different to say.
Okay, so who is Arizona taking at three? Who do you think they're taking at three?
He just said it.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I missed it.
I agree with them. It looks like I'm popping, but this is legit.
That's no. That's what you think. That's what you think. Okay, I think Francis McGowan is going to three to Arizona. At number four, I think the Titans are taking Jeremiah Love. Troy, who the Titans taking?
Francis Mayoga in the first 30 seconds.
First, this is my own. Okay, Felix, who is Tennessee Titans taking?
I actually think Tennessee wants Jeremiah Love because they want that 1-2 hit with passing and rushing. They already have a solid passing game. They want the same thing in their running back core.
Okay, all right, okay, that's great. Yeah. Oh, now you can agree, man. So, at number five, we got the New York Jets. Troy, who the New York Jets taking? I'm sorry, New York Giants. I'm sorry, it's New York, man. I'm sorry, the New York Giants.
No, you good. My bad. Jeremiah Love.
The Giants are taking Jeremiah Love at five. Okay.
They traded to get that 10th pick, so that way the 5th pick they could pick the best available player, who is Jeremiah Love. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to go back to when they had Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs in the backfield, and they're going to have their version of Thunder and Lightning. And no team, if they stay healthy, going to be able to hold them in the running game, especially with Harbaugh coming over. Oh man, look, Jeremiah loves the Giants.
Okay, I like that, Troy. Who do you like? Who the Giants taking, Felix?
I think they might go with safety Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs. Okay, you know what? I'm in agreement with Felix. I think they're going to take Caleb Downs. Listen, I hope the Giants don't take Jeremiah Love because I think they're going to do the exact thing they did with Saquon Barkley. They took him high like that and then abused him.
Was that a bad thing though?
Or taking him, no, but taking him and abusing him, yes, that's a bad thing. So
okay, you got to abuse him with Cam Tebow.
I'm with Felix. I think the Giants are taking Caleb Downs at five. At five, we got the Cleveland Browns at six, and not even Santa Claus know what the Cleveland Browns are going to do at six. But let's see what Troy. Troy, what are the Cleveland Browns going to do at six?
Carnell Tate, give Shador or whoever's starting at quarterback more weapons.
Okay, all right. So that's a receiver going pretty high. Felix, who is Cleveland taking at six?
I would agree with that because here's the thing: Cleveland, they already kind of know what they're doing in terms of the running game. Having that added to their passing game makes sense. Their defense is already the hallmark of the team. They definitely want to get someone in that aspect of the game.
Okay, all right. You guys haven't said anything yet. Okay, so that takes us to seven.
Who are you taking?
Who am I taking? I
Right.
think for Cleveland, I think Cleveland is taking Sonny Styles. That's who I think Cleveland's taking. Sonny Styles at six. All righty, Troy. Who are your Washington Commanders taking at seven?
Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs. Then you've been saying that for 6 months straight, man. I hear you, baby. I hear you, man.
Death is in the power to come, man.
Listen to that.
You and my mama and my whole family has put me on. So look, I'm gonna keep speaking it.
Man, I'm rooting for you, man. I know you've had a hole in you ever since Sean Taylor left the earth too soon, and I think Caleb Downs would go back to mending that for you. So I hope they do. Caleb Downs is available, and I hope Washington takes him. Felix, who are your Commanders taking at seven?
That was such a nice moment. I mean, after mentioning Sean, I really don't want to go against what you just said, but honestly speaking, I'm looking at what the Commanders need right now. I like the defense for the most part, but I'm saying if we go defensive back, I think it's more practical if we go straight for a corner. Mansour Delane, 90.5 pro football focus rating. He's right there where we need the most help, quarterback position. And again, how do you pass on a guy who's 90.5? You're drafting for both a need and for talent right there. So Mansour Delane's who if we get him, I'd be really happy with this first round.
Felix,
I like that.
Felix, I
I
swear,
like that.
I swear that the Commanders should hire you on their team. I swear they should, man, because that's exactly the guy that they need. The Washington Commanders haven't had a cover corner since Darrell Green. And look how long that's been. They need that guy so bad. And you know, I like Caleb Downs, but you know what? Here's the thing. Either one of those guys, I'll be happy with the Commanders taking Caleb Downs or Delaney Mansour, but I don't believe they're going to be there at 7. I think both of those guys are going to be going by 7. And Tom the Bomb thinks, get ready for this, guys. That Tom the Bomb thinks that the Commanders are trading number 7, and that they're going to trade that pick. They're going to go down to pick up 3 picks in the second round because they have no picks in the second round. So I think the Commanders, huh?
Why?
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what I think. I think the Commanders because well, let me say it like this: if Jeremiah Love there, they're taking Jeremiah Love, but I don't think Jeremiah was going to be there. I think they'd take Sonny Styles. I don't think Sonny Styles is going to be there. I know they would take Caleb Downs and Delaney Mansour, like you said, but I don't think those guys are going to be there either. So I think the Commanders trade down, get 2 or 3 picks in the second round because they have no picks in the second round. So that's what I got. Commanders in the taking the 7th round. Okay, we got New Orleans Saints at number 8. Troy, who are the Saints taking at 8?
Mansour Delane.
Mansour Delane. Okay. he ain't gonna go past 10. That's for sure.
That's why I was laughing. But you know, they need another guy. You know, they need a guy out there that you know is the guy, and I feel like that would be the perfect pick.
You know what, Troy? He's there's a lot. I mean, come on, you can't pass on a Jeremiah Love, but Washington needs Delaney Mansour more than they need Jeremiah Love. Felix, who do you got? New Orleans taking at 8.
I would actually say New Orleans would be the team to get Sonny Styles because they're coming into their own on offense. I think what they need to do at this point, add to the defense so they can improve on both sides of the ball. So I definitely say that that'd be a big part of building the blocks on the other side of the ball for New Orleans.
Another thing too. I think one more thing. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, you could say one more thing.
Say, they play in a division where it's wide receiver heavy. You gotta go against Drake London in Atlanta. You gotta go against Mike Evans is gone now, but you still got Mecca Igbukwe. You still got Chris Godwin, and then you go to Carolina and you got T-Mac, who they just drafted.
Yep.
Right. So
and the Vikings. Don't forget the Vikings.
Right.
Justin Jefferson.
So you know, so it's a lot of different ways to go in regards to what makes sense. But again, he's going to go up against those guys twice a year, you know, as long as he's there. So that's huge.
Okay. Troy, your auntie Mother Wig wants to know what are Kansas City Chiefs going to do at 9?
Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
Okay. All righty.
What I like about it is that they're going to find a way to use him all over the field. They are not just going to put him at one spot. And he's good enough to where, just like Caleb Downs, they can play multiple positions. You know, so the guy don't miss tackles. He got speed. I think that definitely helps them out on the defensive end.
Felix, who's the KC Chiefs taking?
I think they do Carnell Tate because they're missing some power at that wide receiver position. So I think that you give that power back to Mahomes, give him some more options out there that can consistently catch the ball, not have him only rely on Kelsey, who in reality, if he's relying solely on Kelsey, you can scheme him out. And we've seen that more and more in the past year. I think if you do that, you can bring Mahomes back into what made him able to get the Chiefs the level of success that they've had.
Okay.
Who are you taking it? The Saints and then the Chiefs.
I'm not taking anybody. I'm listening to Troy and listening to Troy and Felix. Troy, who we got 11?
10.
10. I'm sorry, 10.
The New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Giants.
Ruben Bain Jr.
Wait a
Now,
minute. Wait a minute. The Giants are at 10 again?
Yeah,
yes,
they traded up.
yeah,
It's
they
recent
traded with
switch.
the
Mhm.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
So now Dexter Lawrence is a part of the Cincinnati Bengals, and now they need defensive line help. That's when you go get Ruben Bain. That's why you're able to get Jeremiah Love, because no matter what happened, you still have a safe pick to go to in which you can fill in a need quick
Okay.
and not have to worry about paying them, superstar money yet.
Okay. All right. Well, you know I've been you know I've been undercover. I've been missing. So the Giants. That's okay. I see it here now. Okay. Yep. Giants. Oh man, that man. You know what, man? That Troy. If that Troy, if that happens, that makes the Giants the winner of the draft. If they come out of this draft with Jeremiah Love and Ruben Bain, it's all over. They're the winners of the draft. I don't care what nobody says. That's
They traded.
unbelievable. So go ahead, Felix.
No,
Right,
no.
and I would say for the Giants, yeah, definitely Ruben Bain for that same reason.
She like Ruben Bain too, but that makes the Giants the winner of the draft. Jeremiah Love and Ruben Bain. That's potentially that's the best offensive player in the draft, because I know Fernando Mendoza is going number one, and rightfully so, but Fernando Mendoza is not a better offensive player than Jeremiah Love. Would you guys agree or disagree with that?
100%.
So then that means the Giants get the best offensive player in the draft. And I still think that Ruben Bain is the best defense. That's just like Troy been screaming about Caleb Downs for the last 6 months. I've been screaming Ruben Bain for the last 6 months. So if they get the best offensive player in the draft and the best defensive player in the draft, that makes the Giants the winner. And when the last time Giants won anything?
When they beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
There you go. There you go. Let's get to number 11. We got the Miami Dolphins. Troy, who does Miami like at 11?
McCollum and wide receiver USC.
Okay.
They got to replace Tyreek Hill, who they let go.
Well, no, they let whatchamacallit go too, right? The Waddle. What is Waddle?
Jalen Watt, both of them.
Yeah, they left. Yeah,
Tyreek Hill's still a free agent though, so
So they got rid.
of.
So they got rid of Tyreek Hill and Waddle. That's both of their starting receivers.
That's why they go receiver here.
They got to go receiver here. Felix, who's Miami taking?
I would say either him or Jordan Tyson.
Okay. All righty. I think Tyson's before Makai, but I agree with you. I like Jordan Tyson there. I agree with that, Felix. All right, let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the Alice Cowgirls. Felix, who are the Cowgirls taking first at 12?
To be honest, that's pretty tough. But seeing that they have a hole in defensive back position, I would say I think I still like their pass rush, but I would say I would say they need to go for Jermod McCoy, because again, the Cowboys, they had one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, if not the worst, last season. So getting Jermod McCoy, that's a step towards bolstering that pass defense. And again, everything else for the most part in Dallas looks stable. But if they can anchor that down, they're competitive again.
Troy, who you got Dallas taking?
Man, that dude know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I had Jermod McCoy at number 12 out of Tennessee. That is a man. Look,
I told
you said that's the best side man.
the best side man in the business, and he can land that plane too. I'm telling you, the Commanders are missing out on hiring Felix, man. Come on, man. Somebody better wake up and find this young man.
It makes sense because Trayvon Diggs gone. You got DeRon Bland, who you gave good money to. You need somebody else that's going to step in. That 6 foot, 195, 192 around there. Like, come on, man, that's no brainer.
Troy, I hope I'm so wrong on this. I really do. I pray that I'm wrong. Okay, I think the Cowboys are trading up and taking Caleb Downs. That's who I think the Cowboys are taking.
You don't see that.
I said I hope I'm wrong, but I that's what I think. I think the Cowboys are moving up and to get up higher to be able to take Caleb Downs. But that's what I think. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
All right, cool.
All right. So now at 13, we got the LA Rams. Felix, who the LA Rams taking?
The Rams. Again, that's another tough one. They're probably just going to go with Francis Magua, the offensive tackle, because I'm looking all around. They're a solid team on both offense and defense. So maybe Maybe they go an offensive tackle. And again, you remember Whitworth was with the Rams for a
Mhm.
long time. I don't
Right.
think they've ever properly replaced him.
No, they didn't. But Francis won't be available at 13. Troy, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think Francis is going to go to Tennessee early.
Yeah,
So
Okay,
that's why yeah.
no,
But I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not trying to change your
it's
pick.
tricky.
I'm not trying to change your pick. I just think I think he's if he's not number one, he's the number two offensive lineman that's coming off the board. And we're not going to get all the way to 13 in the NFL and somebody having taken a couple of offensive tackles. Uh, that's just what I think. Troy, what's your
True,
take?
true. We never know. I think Peter Woods out of Clemson. Now,
Good football
before the
player.
season started, I thought Peter Woods was going to be a top 5 pick, let alone a top 15, top 20 pick. But I got him going early. Add to that defensive line that they got going on, make it hard for the teams to have to. They can't double team Fisk anymore. They can't double team uh um the young boy on the edge. I keep forgetting his name. Um, and anyway, regardless though, they got a lot of Jared Bird. Excuse me. There we go.
Mhm.
They can't double team them no more. So you add Peter Woods to that mix, it's going to make it hard for teams to have to deal with that.
That's a good pick. I like that pick, Troy. I think the reason Peter Woods will be there is I think he got in a little trouble. I'm not sure, but I think he did some things to knock himself down in the draft. But his talent is first round. What are you saying?
Your pick.
I'm
Other
I'm
way.
I'm not picking. Okay, right. I'm letting the experts handle this. At 14, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Troy, who were the Ravens taking at 14? This is their second pick.
They gonna take here. Hold on, give me 1 second. A little bit. If I get this name wrong, I apologize, bro. Aloa Vega,
Hmm. Okay.
Ione, guard out of Penn State. They got rid of their star center.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
in free agency.
To the
So
Raiders.
I'm looking at that as, oh, trade, excuse me, but they lost them. So I'm looking at that as, even though it's not a center, it's an interior lineman that you can fill in to kind of help build like where you need help at,
Okay. And Phil,
especially if you want to run
go
a
ahead.
team.
I'm sorry, Troy. Go ahead. You go ahead and
I'm
finish.
just saying, especially if you want to be a running team. That's it.
Felix, who do you see the Ravens taking at 14?
I was also thinking they take an offensive lineman. I was thinking Spencer Fano from Utah, possibly.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. I like that. Troy, 15, Tampa Bay. Who's Tampa Bay taking at 15, Troy?
Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
Ooh.
Probably the better player in this whole draft.
Well, if you team that boy with a Mecca, they got something going, man.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing: they're not afraid of getting receivers early. They're known to go get guys like Mike Evans and Emeka Egbuka like they did last year. So why not keep the flow moving, especially since you just lost Mike Evans to the 49ers? You got to continue to give, Baker targets, targets to get to, especially considering that they're usually injury bit. So with that said, get more depth from Jordan Tyson.
I like that, Troy, because young blood is low money. You know what I'm saying there?
Yes, sir.
Young
Without a
blood
doubt.
is low money. Felix, who's Tampa Bay taking at 15?
So I'm thinking you said something about wanting to add some power to the receiving core, but I think they're going to go straight to tight end position because of Kenyon Sadiq. I think they're going to go for that safety blanket, maybe get a receiver later on, maybe build that up through a trade or something. But
I
I
like.
think Kenyon Sadiq might actually go to Tampa.
That's a good pick. That's a good place for him. That's about where I see him falling in this draft. Troy, 16, we got the New York Jets. The Jets are back up on the board after taking Avril Reese at number 2. I know you disagree with that, but the Jets are back up on the board at 16. Troy, who the Jets taking?
Monroe Freeman, offensive tackle, Georgia.
Okay.
You gotta protect your quarterback. It don't matter who back there, you in trouble.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a long time. So continue to just get guys that can at least build and get more mature over the years, as opposed to trying to get all these guys on the defensive end, but you can't score points. You gotta be able to protect the quarterback. Gotta be able to run the ball when you need to.
Man, you know that Justin Fields has got the worst look for going to teams that can't protect him. That's terrible. That's a good point, Troy. Felix, who do you like the Jets taking at 16?
Okay, I'm thinking same position group, but I'm going to go Caden Proctor here.
Okay, I like that pick too. I like that pick too. All right, that takes us to number 17, Troy. We got the Detroit Lions up at 17. They need to reload. What is Detroit talking about, Troy?
He Messador, defensive lineman, Miami. Now,
Good
I
pick.
think he kind of gets overlooked because of who Ruben Bain is
Mm-hmm.
and who he was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at a guy that can come in and not have to worry about being the number one threat on the defensive line, you're going in, you're going to work with Aiden Hutchinson every single week, every single day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you bring another guy in like that, even if Aiden goes down, you still have first round talent that can come in and really, apply pressure to the quarterback.
That's great, Troy. I actually had him fall into 20 for Dallas, but he may not be there. That's a good point. Troy, who do you like Detroit at 17? Felix?
Detroit 17. I'm thinking. I'm thinking C.J. Allen, Georgia.
Okay. All righty. I like that pick. All right, let's move it. Let's pick it up. Okay, Troy, we got the Vikings at 18. Who the Vikings taking at number 18, Troy?
Spencer Cornell, offensive tackle, Utah.
All righty. And Felix, who do you like the Vikings at 18?
Vikings at 18. I'm thinking they want to bolster their secondary just a little bit, maybe take Dylan Thieneman.
Okay. All righty. Troy, that takes us to the Carolina Panthers at number 19. Who do Carolina like?
Omar Cooper, wide receiver, Indiana.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Felix, who do you got the Panthers taking at 19?
I'm thinking they might go defensive tackle Peter Woods.
Okay. All righty. Troy, the Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock at number 20. Who is Dallas taking?
C.J. Allen, linebacker, Georgia.
They need linebackers badly. Badly. That's yeah. Felix, who you got Dallas taking at 20?
Now I'm going to go with someone Troy's already mentioned. I think it's Olavavega Ione, and I know I more than likely mispronounced it as well.
I'm right there with you, my boy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If Felix is mispronouncing it, it's tough, man, because he usually nails that stuff. Troy, we got Pittsburgh at 21. Who are the Steelers taking at 21?
Todd Simpson, quarterback, Alabama.
Ooh, okay. There's our second quarterback finally coming off the board.
Now, my mama loved Will Howard, and I want to see Will Howard succeed. I really do, but I think you can't pass up on Todd Simpson.
Okay. Troy, Felix, I mix you guys up. Felix, who does Pittsburgh taking at 21?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same quarterback. I'm going to go with the same quarterback,
Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Then we got the LA Chargers at 22. Troy, who the Chargers taking at 22?
Eldrick Faulk, edge rusher, Auburn.
Okay. Felix, Chargers at 22.
I'm thinking I might want to protect their quarterback a little bit here and probably go for Max Ianacor.
Okay. Now, Felix, the rumors are coming in hot and heavy, that the Eagles are dumping A.J. Brown, probably going to send him to the New England Patriots in a trade before the draft. So who is Philly taking at 23 if they're getting rid of A.J. Brown?
Makai Lemon, USC.
Okay. All right. Phil, you were right on top of that, Felix. Troy, who is the Eagles taking at 23?
Caden Proctor, offensive tackle, Alabama.
Okay. Alabama. All righty. Felix, we got the Cleveland Browns at 24. Whose life they get ready to mess up?
Okay, they're probably going to. Now, I didn't mention they have a solid front seven, but I'm thinking, what if they're secondary? I'm thinking maybe they take Avion Terrell out of Clemson, the corner.
Okay, all right. Troy, who do you got Cleveland taking at 24?
Caleb Lomu, offensive tackle, Utah.
Hey, Felix, we got the Bears taking number 25, picking at 25. Man, it's been a long time since the Bears been that low in the draft. That means they had success last year. Who is Chicago taking at 25, Felix?
Zion Young from Missouri.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Same guy, Troy?
That boy cold, man.
You like the same guy?
That boy, hey man, bring look, Zion Young, stay home. Chicago, Missouri, that's a great fit.
Man, you guys are really nailing this draft. Listen, for you fans out there watching the Tom the Bomb show, this is going to be better than the real NFL draft on Thursday. Man, you guys are absolutely nailing this.
What's the name?
Lauren wants to know what's the name that the Bears are taking at 25. What's his name again?
Zion Young.
Zion.
Missouri.
Listen, a little bit. How dangerous do you guys think the Bears are going to be next year, Felix?
Very.
Yeah.
Very. With a capital V.
I think they're going to be something to reckon with. I thought they were early this year, but uh, they're going to be knocking people out next year. The Bears are back. Troy, we got Buffalo at 26. Who the Bills taking?
Concepcion.
KC
Just saying now,
Concepcion.
wide receiver.
Felix, I thought he had to go to Kansas City. Who is Buffalo taking at 26?
I'm thinking they might go Kristen Miller. I'm thinking they probably go pass rush. I'm thinking they probably go pass rush here.
Okay, Troy, I'm turning a total fan right here. I know nothing. I know nothing about football. Tell me who my San Francisco 49ers are taking at 27. And we just re-signed our left tackle for 2 years for $50 million. So we locked back in our left tackle. So who are my 49ers taking at 27, Troy?
Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher, Central Florida.
Okay. All right. All right.
Guys are known to take defensive linemen in the first round.
Hey, Felix, who are my 49ers taking at 27?
I'm thinking they probably want some more protection on offense. So I'm saying Blake Miller, offensive tackle.
Okay, I like both of those guys. Troy, we got the Houston Texans with that killer defense at 28. Man, they need help on the offensive line, man. If they draft anybody other than offensive lineman, everybody in Houston needs to be smacked. So, Troy, who are the Houston Texans taking at 28?
Emmanuel Pregnon, offensive guard, Oregon.
If they take anybody other than an offensive lineman, everybody in Houston needs. Felix, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Troy on that one as well.
Listen. They sacked that boy so many times in Houston that he went back to college and won a national championship with the Michigan Wolverines under disguise. I knew that was CJ. That wasn't no Kadu. That was CJ playing basketball for Michigan. Okay, Troy. Mother Wigs Chiefs come back in at 29. Who the Chiefs taking at 29, Troy?
Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, Oregon. Now, this is the guy. I feel like I said, I feel like he's going to slip. But if he somehow flips to Kansas City again, because this is their second first round pick, that's going to be really good outside with Travis Kelce on the other side.
Yeah, yeah. Mahomes can get back to the Super Bowl with this kid. I don't think he's going to be there. Felix, who do you like for Kansas City at 29?
I think if they already get a receiver, assuming they get a receiver, as I said earlier, they probably are just going to go with the corner, Brandon Sis. I'm already saying that their front seven looks good. They probably want to bolster the pass defense a little bit, so definitely Brandon Sis could help there.
Okay. All righty, Troy. We got the Miami Dolphins at 30. Who the Dolphins taking at 30?
30th pick, Dylan Thieneman, safety out of Oregon, third straight Oregon guy.
Okay. Felix, who's Miami taking at 30?
I'm thinking they probably stay defensive back, but they go Colton Hood from Tennessee.
Okay. That takes us to 31. Who are the New England Patriots taking at 31, Troy?
D'Angelo Pons, corner out of Indiana.
Okay. Felix, New England, 31. Who do you got them taking?
I would actually say that at 31, I really like their offense, but I think the Patriots, they could add a little more defensive pressure. They probably take Keldrick Falk from Auburn.
Okay. All right. And that wraps us up with the Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks, at 32. Troy, I'm with you on this one. I think they got Mike Washington Jr. all over that. Is that who you like too, Troy?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yep. Felix, who do you got the champs taking at 32?
Yeah, I agree with you guys on that one.
All righty. That's where Washington Jr. is landing in Seattle with the Super Bowl champs. Hey, guys, that's our first round. That's the 32 picks. Let's take a break, and we'll be back talking NBA playoffs. Oh, yeah, the NBA playoffs. We'll be right back.
Window Nation is on the Morgan's home turf to huddle up about replacing their drafty old windows.
This free estimate is showing how easy it is to tackle the problem.
We can get any of these windows custom made.
Yes, you can get the quality and style you really want.
And at a more affordable price than they ever imagined.
Now that they've sealed the deal, they'll be saving money year-round.
We're really confident with Window Nation.
Get your free estimate today and get 60% off all windows plus no interest or payments for 24 months at GetWindowNation.com.
Sheltered by the Sea of Cortez, Danzante Bay is a pure and peaceful oasis, an uncrowded retreat where your options are as vast as your views. If you're seeking a vacation that defines luxury and the true relaxation, look no further than Villa del Palmar at the islands of Loreto. A splendor of true Mexican hospitality effortlessly blends with rich materials and insatiable comforts to bring guests the ideal home away from home experience. With its quiet beaches, scenic vistas, rich history, and an astounding surrounding natural habitat, you'll feel as though you've been swept off to paradise. Not to be outdone, Reese Jones has crafted TPC Danzante Bay, a brilliant, multi-themed 18-hole golf course that runs over and through valleys, arroyos, dunes, and foothills. From every angle, striking images of the islands of Loreto and the surrounding mountain range take your breath away, while the challenging yet rewarding Baja Golf Course beckons you to return for more. It is an honor and my pleasure to welcome you to the world's most beautiful sunset and so much more.
Back. The 2026 NBA play-in tournament saw the Suns beat the Warriors 111-96. Well, my Golden State Warriors season is over. After teasing us with a throwback performance for the ages on Wednesday, the Warriors completely and utterly ran out of gas on Friday, losing to the Phoenix Suns 111-96 in a game that was a constant uphill battle. And now my main man, Steph Curry, can go work on his sublime golf game. And man, he can really play, can't he, Troy? Going over his minutes on Wednesday showed up in Friday. We never seen Steph so bad in a playoff game, going 4 for 16 and shooting 3 for 10 from the three-point line. It was clear that Curry was still very much injured and clearly not himself. He was clearly limping at times, and he just didn't have that separation without the ball that we've all grown accustomed to. Give the Suns some credit for their defensive strategy and their execution. They put the claw on him, and the claw kind of held him down. What was you guys' take on this game, Troy?
Yeah, they had a good good game plan against them. I feel like the Warriors kind of burnt out after their previous win, the game before that, where they played the Clippers. They're a good team, but again, you're asking a lot from, a guy that's usually, like you said, known to be that quick off ball. I need a screen, get open, do my thing. He's clearly not healthy. So when your best player is not fully healthy, there's not much to expect.
Felix, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely say at the Suns up and coming team now. I'm looking at the Warriors. They played solid basketball. Steph Curry's always going to be Steph Curry, but we got to understand he doesn't have the same support he once had. I mean, I'd say Jimmy Butler being out for the season was a huge
Absolutely.
shot to the Warriors.
Absolutely.
I think that this game probably has a different result, a different feel just by putting Butler there. But all in all, I would say that the Suns take nothing from them. Solid team. However, the next round, I don't think is going to be very kind. After all, they're in the Western Conference.
Mhm. Troy, the Magic beat the Hornets 121-90. What was your thoughts on this one, Troy?
Again, the Hornets spent all that time celebrating after their win against the Heat. Got burnt out for the game finishing off. You got to find a way to keep the same energy, and they didn't.
Felix?
Right. And another thing I would like to say, the Hornets, they're a team that overcame expectations just to make the postseason.
Mhm.
Then you look at the Orlando Magic, they're a team that's been proficient, despite the fact that they're a low seed. They've been fairly proficient in their own right in terms of talent throughout this year. So there was a case where, yeah, they were probably burnt out from celebrating. And I also say they were probably just burnt out from the game against the Heat, that game itself. So again, that happens. You go up against a team like Orlando, the dynamics at play just made the game the washout that it was.
Mhm. Okay, this takes us to the playoffs round one. And in the West, we saw the Thunder beat the Suns 119-84 as they opened up a can. Troy, what was your thought on OKC?
Yeah, they're going to sweep Phoenix.
Okay. They're gonna go old fashioned like Moses Malone. Four. We're gonna beat them in four, not four. Four. We're gonna beat them in four. F-O. Felix, what was your thoughts on the Thunder and the Suns?
Right. I would say that this is most likely going to be a very quick series in favor of the Thunder. The Thunder overall much better team. Again, the Suns up and coming in terms of talent from where I wouldn't even say up and coming. They're talented, but the Thunder, they're on a different level. They're on the elite tier, even amongst the very talented Western Conference. So yeah, you're just going to see a result like that when you have such a matchup.
Okay. Now, Felix, let's give Nate Wood some hope here, okay? Because the LA Fakers beat the Rockets 107-98. And and, uh, and so do the Lake Show have a chance? Give them a chance, honey. Do the Lakers got a chance, Felix?
Absolutely, and it goes back to what I said. I thought that the Rockets might be able to catch the Lakers without Luka Doncic, but the fact of the matter is, okay, if they win this game, and honestly speaking, I before this even happened, I was thinking, yeah, advantage Lakers, but this could really be the Rockets series. After what I saw, if they beat them, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself as I tend to do, but I do think that the Lakers in this series they have an advantage over the Rockets. Now, we have been saying this from the start of the season on this show. The Rockets are one of the teams that no one really talks about, one of those talented teams no one talks about.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think the new look Lakers with their new formula and how they manage the team, which I think was the main roadblock. They had the talent to go far. They just weren't managing.
Mhm.
Now that they're doing a better job, the sky's the limit for this team.
Troy, LeBron James is really, 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 really good. What's your take on the Lakers and Rockets, Troy?
Surprised
Yeah,
you
like
admitted
you
that.
said. Right, exactly. You feel me? Like, but yeah, he's really, really good, man. Look, man, floor general. I don't care. I don't care about finals record, all that. The dude can play basketball. He's a floor general. One thing I respect about how they went about this game, they had all they starting five players take 10 shots or more throughout the game. Right? DeAndre Ayton went 8 for 10.
Mhm.
19 and 11, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like they're finding ways to keep everybody involved. Luke Kennard looked like JJ Redick, looked like Luke Kennard from college. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if they can find a way to keep on sharing the wealth and get the people in rhythm, it's going to make teams have to respect everybody as opposed to key in on one person. So I think that they really are legit because of that.
Okay. Felix, the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves 116-105, and the young gun for the Timberwolves looked like he's hurt. What's your thoughts on this series?
Well, I hope if that's the case, he's feeling, he makes a full and speedy recovery. But I'll say this: the Nuggets heading into this series, of course, we accepted them as being the better team, but I think this could be a more evenly matched series than we think. Look out for the series to go to at least 6 games. Again, they're very close in terms of how much they score and how good their defenses are. But again, like we say, on paper they're close, but basketball's not played on paper. I think in terms of star power, I think Denver has a bit of an advantage on them. But again, based on, I'll say this: even though that was a pretty convincing win, the injury might be what precludes this from actually going as far as it would.
Okay. Troy, what's your thoughts on the Nuggets and Timberwolves?
If the Timberwolves keep hacking Jamal Murray and allowing Jamal Murray to get to the free throw line as much as they do, they might get beaten five. They gotta stop fouling. They gotta find a way to keep Denver off the free throw line. Jamal Murray did not miss one free throw. He dropped 30 points, but he dropped 16 free throws out of 16 free throw attempts, man.
Mhm.
Like that can't happen. You know Joker gonna get his. That's not even a question. But if Jamal Murray keeps finding ways to attack your defense to where you can't do nothing but foul, you're in big trouble.
That's a good point, Troy. When I watched that, what Jamal Murray reminded me of in that game. He actually reminded me of Kobe Bryant because Kobe Bryant was people didn't realize Kobe Bryant would score 18 to 20 points every night from the free throw line, and people didn't realize that. And that's what Jamal looked like in that game to me. Uh, Felix, the Spurs beat the Trailblazers 111-98. What's your thoughts on this series, Felix?
Yeah, the Spurs are one of the best teams in basketball right now, and the Trailblazers give them their proper credit. But again, the Spurs they're on a different level. They're on that tier of OKC. out east, they would be on the tier that Boston is. If you don't believe they're on that tier this year, the tier we can at least agree Boston was on in 2024. They're one of the few teams in the NBA that not only went toe to toe with OKC, but actually beat them on a consistent basis. So that win doesn't shock me. Again, the Trailblazers, I dare to say that they're one of the better teams even in the Western Conference. But again, the Spurs are on a completely different level from them.
Troy, what's your thoughts on the Spurs and Blazers?
The league in trouble. Uh, Victor Wembanyama, you know, for his playoff debut, this man went bonkers. And what's great is he can stretch the floor out, but he's not just a pick and pop type of center. He's hitting threes from the corner off the dribble. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't see no 7-footers doing that outside of KD, but you 7'4". Like, come on, man, that's impressive. But one thing I'll say is that Drew Holiday needs to get more aggressive. Even though he shot 15 shot attempts and went 4 for 15, those shot attempts mainly came from him being the second or third option within a possession, meaning he wasn't looking to score instantly when he got the ball, right? So I think if he becomes more aggressive, it's going to take pressure off of Danny Avdia, who has been, exceptional. But I think Drew Holiday has to step his game up offensively.
Victor Wembanyama is Shohei Ohtani. What Shohei Ohtani is to the Major League Baseball, that's what Wembanyama is to the NBA, and it's exciting and it's refreshing. And the thing that both of these two guys have in common is there ain't nobody that don't like them. You know, even if you're not a Dodger fan, even if you're not a San Antonio fan, you like Wembanyama and you like Ohtani, and these guys are, both of them are the face of their sports. Now, what's your guys' thoughts on that, Felix?
Um, I would say that Wembanyama, he's definitely one of the faces of the newer upcoming players of the sport. I mean, the thing with Otani's, I get exactly what you're saying. I get exactly what you mean. I have to be honest. There are two players that are talented, and no one really has a negative thing to say about them, whether it's objectively or subjectively. So I can agree with that.
Troy, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, in regards to just being able to do things that we haven't really seen before, they're very comparable. I think Otani has a little bit more of an advantage in regards to like, oh my gosh, type talent, because, I've heard a lot about Babe Ruth, but to see from my own eyes somebody that's arguably one of the best hitters that's ever played, and then you put him in the fact of he can play 7 innings and give up like one earned run on average, like that's impressive, man. So yeah, he's different. But so is Wemby.
Felix, I like PTI. I saw Tony Kornheiser the other day say that Shohei Ohtani is going to win the Cy Young Award, and then wings are just going to appear on his back, and then he's going to fly off back to heaven. Let's get to the East. The Magic beat the Pistons 112-101, and this was an upset. That's a good basketball team in Detroit. Troy, what was your thoughts on the Pistons losing to the Magic?
They shooters got Detroit shooters got in foul trouble early, so it kind of threw off the rhythm offensively. But the Magic are tough, man. Franz Wagner is a beast. So about Pablo Banchero, everybody know that he the star of the team, but like Franz can easily drop 25 to 30 on you, in a blink of an eye. So I look at in regards to how they score points. They're a size mismatch for a lot of people. So they're going to be a tough out even as an AC.
Yeah, I remember when he was at Michigan doing it. I knew this guy was going to turn into a good pro. Felix, what's your thoughts on the Magic over the Pistons?
I would say it's hard to really judge this entire series based off of this one game. So I'm still going to go. I'm still going to go with the Pistons here, but at the same time, I mean, the Magic again. They're a team that they're surpassing expectations. At the same time, with the Pistons, I want to say this: they're a team that's good. Do I think they're at the elite level just yet? Not exactly. But at the same time, it doesn't help to get into foul trouble early in the game. But I think the Pistons should catch up. Probably seal this one 4-1, 4-2.
Okay, Troy, we got the Cavaliers beat the Raptors 126 to 113. What's your thoughts on this one, Troy?
Yeah, the Cavs are legit. James Harden joining up with Donovan Mitchell is huge, and I love the fact that James Harden has turned more into a point guard in his little years. So they're going to be, a tough out for any team, but I think that they may win this series.
Felix?
Can you repeat that?
The Cavaliers beat the Raptors 126 to 113. What was your thoughts on this one?
Not shocked by that one. The Cavaliers have been one of the best teams out east since last season. They're just keeping up the momentum, and quite frankly, the Raptors, although they're a decent team, I think I would say if they're being outmatched by the Cavaliers, this could be a very quick series.
Okay. All right. And then we got the Knicks beat the Hawks 113 to 102. I think this is a series that's going to be a sweep. Troy, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it may go to 5. I think New York's going to be caught slipping at least one game. But hey, man, if Karl Anthony Towns comes out with that type of intensity, it's going to be hard to kind of keep them contain them to a certain amount of points. Jalen Brunson's the truth, but I think Cat showing a little bit more intensity is kind of firing up everybody else around him. So if he keeps that up, they're going to be a tough out.
Felix, the Knicks and the Hawks.
Yeah, I would say that the Knicks are definitely still my favorite to win this one, but I'm going to say this about the Hawks. They are a competitive team. I don't think this exactly is going to be a sweep. The Hawks might catch them once or twice, but again, other than that, Knicks.
Okay. Felix, the Celtics beat the 76ers by 30 points in their opening playoff round. Do the Sixers even win a game in this series, Felix?
Would not be shocked if they don't. And again, like I said, this Celtics team is on an absolute tear. Jason Tatum's back. Not to mention, I mean, the 76ers, they're not really the same team that they were about a half decade ago. I'd say maybe it's a sweep, maybe it's 4-1, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be a very tough watch if you're a Philadelphia fan.
Troy?
Yeah, the Celtics sweep. It's
Mm,
simple.
you
They're
know,
that good.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying like they're really that good. They were champs a few years ago, but I look at them as a team that just finds a way to just get it done and score points. And not Jason Tatum's back, they deep.
Okay. Uh, let's cut to the chase. Can anybody beat the Celtics out of the East? Because we got a championship team that last year suffered some crazy injuries when they were picked to go back to back, and now all of a sudden, how do they end up going under the radar? Can anybody beat the Celtics in the East? Troy,
No. Oh,
Felix,
sorry.
go ahead. That's okay, Felix. Go ahead, Felix.
No, I mean, I had a tough time looking at the West when I was doing my show. I had to really think about what I was going to say about the West, but I think the East is pretty much just the Celtics. It's a matter of who the Celtics are going to beat come time for the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion.
Mhm. Troy, can the beard help Cleveland make a series out of it against the Celtics? Or
No,
do you see New
because they
York
can't.
being the team? Or do you see New York being the team to
I
meet the
see I
Celtics?
see New York being the closest thing that could beat them. And it's crazy is ain't none of those teams are number one seed, not even Boston. We ain't even talked about the Pistons, right? But regardless, I don't see anybody keeping up with them, and holding them, to under 115 points a game.
All right, we're going to get more and more into this. Felix, get us caught up on the NHL playoffs. Felix, get us caught up on the playoffs.
All right, so I'd say with the NHL playoffs, we have a bit of a role reversal, So anytime you talk to me about the playoffs, I usually tell you it's the opposite of basketball. The Eastern Conference is usually the more competitive conference in hockey as opposed to the Western Conference. Now, the Western Conference might have a really strong team that takes it all the way, but usually, over the last 20 years, it was either Ovechkin's Capitals, Sidney Crosby's Penguins, and other teams from the Eastern Conference. And I would say out of the West, you always had Chicago back in the days of Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane. Now you have Nathan McKinnon and the Avalanche, and to an extent McDavid and the Oilers. So to get back to bring things back to the current year, I think the Eastern Conference, it's really an easy go for the Carolina Hurricanes. They've been deep in the playoffs every single last year. Then on top of that, they added Keandre Miller as a defenseman, solid defenseman who was with the New York Rangers. I feel like he was overshadowed by Adam Fox. So you put him there on an already talented team. Then on top of it, most of the teams in the Eastern Conference playoffs did not qualify last year. And I'm actually so glad you asked me about the playoffs, because check this out. The NHL runs a very weird playoff system. If you go to overtime, they give you half of a playoff point. So in other words, if you lose in overtime, that's considered a half win. Here's the problem with that. Those half wins build up, and they actually did a model. They said that there are certain teams, hypothetically, if you ran a binary win-loss system like literally every other major sport does, three of the bottom teams, a lot of the bottom teams in the NHL playoffs in the Eastern Conference would not be there. The Capitals would actually be, and I'm not even saying that because of the Capitals. There's some years the Capitals were in the playoffs and they had no business in there. Mm-hmm. So when you look at hockey, not to go off on a tangent, sometimes you have losing teams go to the finals and win the Stanley Cup, like the 2012 Kings. And in a more unfortunate note, the 98 Capitals, they snuck in. They got embarrassed by the Detroit Red Wings in the finals. But anyway, I'm saying, in short, a lot of the teams in the East, they basically got enough of the overtime win technicality. So I think Carolina's pretty much going to clear the board. There's no real competition there. Out West is the real question. You have the number one team in terms of win-loss record in the Colorado Avalanche. You have one of the best scorers in the league, Nate McKinnon. Then you also have one of the best defenses, with Cal McCarr and company. Not to mention their goalie this year is on fire. So the only question for Colorado is this: is Edmonton going to make another hot run like they did the last year, the year before, and win the West? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if they do, because I think they had a bit of a talent drop. I don't think they can catch Colorado this year. Then Dallas is always sneaky, but here's the thing. They suffered a 7-1 loss to Minnesota. That was pretty embarrassing. So what I'm saying, we're most likely going to see a Carolina versus Colorado Stanley Cup, in my opinion. That one, to be honest, I think you could say advantage Colorado, but again, Carolina deals with tougher competition out east, and it's going to be an easier ride for them because, again, a lot of their competition was culled by the overtime loss technicality, and a lot of fans, usually this was none of Caps fans' business because we're usually at the top, and usually we weren't complaining about this. Now I'm hearing other Caps fans talk about the overtime loss rule being ridiculous, and I'm like, yeah, I've kind of been saying that even when we were winning. I always thought it was preposterous, but here we are.
Here we are. Hey, Troy.
Yeah.
That guy's the best side man in the business.
That boy bad, man. Appreciate it.
The best side man in the business. This is the business. This is the profession that we have chosen. That's awful good, man. Listen, our poll question was OKC Thunder, will they repeat as the NBA champions? We know it's not going to be the Panthers, the Florida Panthers in hockey, right, Felix? Well, I thought they had a shot, but that's tough to come out of three-peat. But it'll be interesting to see who rises up out of the NHL in the playoffs. But I think if we get back to the NBA real quick, I think the only team that can beat OKC is San Antonio, and I think San Antonio can beat them. I could see San Antonio and Boston in the NBA championship game. What do you guys think of that? I'll be rooting for OKC, but you guys think that could possibly be? But San Antonio seems to have their number.
I actually think OKC would actually win a playoff series, in my opinion. Even though this sounds counterintuitive because San Antonio won most of the games, I think that in this dynamic it may be a little different. But it's a toss-up. If they do meet up, it's going to 7.
Well, experience always counts. Like I tell Troy, experience always counts. But man, these guys in San Antonio don't seem to care anything about that. They're young enough to they just don't care. Hey, gang, that's our show for today. Our Grace Devotionals have moved to Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. As usual, Felix and Troy, you guys nailed this draft, man. Wow, man, you guys did a phenomenal job with this draft. I think you guys are going to be better than what we're going to actually see on Thursday. That was really, really great, man. You guys did a fantastic job. Hey, gang, don't
Thank you.
forget to like and subscribe us on YouTube and hit that like bell, please. That helps us. If you engage, say, hey, just say something. How you doing? It helps us, guys. If you're enjoying the content and you'd like to bless our ministry, you can sow into the Tom the Bomb Sports Talk by cash apping us at $Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. Again, that's Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. And don't forget to check out our website at www.tomthebombsports.com. You can also email us at info@tomthebombsports.com. Again, engage, say something for us. Hey, gang, for a dynamic and in-depth sports analysis and highlights for sports in the DMV and more, check out the Washington Sports Den on Saturdays on WBGR with my main man, Mr. Felix Bassey. His future's so bright, he got to wear shades. Best side man in the business, right, Troy? Man, time flies when you're having fun. We're out of time here, but we sure do thank you for spending your time with us. We don't take that for granted. Listen, may the gates of heaven open and pour out an abundance of blessings down on you that there won't be room enough to receive it as you sip off the saucer and live off the overflow as you step boldly into the realm of grace. Did I forget anything, Mama? You guys got anything you want to say before we head out? Felix, Troy?
Nope.
Okay. Remember, if you want it, you got to, Troy, what was it, Troy?
No, son, I'm all good.
Okay.
I'm all good.
All right. Remember, if you want it, you got to confess it with your mouth and believe it in your heart that Jesus died on the cross and that he rose on the third day, not necessarily a Thursday, just for you. Hey, gang, Tom the Bomb wants to leave you with a thought today. Duct tape may patch a lot of things, but 3 nails fixed everything. 3 nails fixed everything. Remember, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. God bless you. You guys have a good evening. We'll see you guys next Monday at this same time on the same bat station. Again, Troy and Felix, you guys were awesome. I'm really excited. This might be one of the most exciting NFL drafts that I'm actually looking forward to on Thursday. And I'm really, really rooting that you guys land who you want, Caleb Downs. And if not, you at least get somebody that's going to truly help your team. You guys have a good evening. Enjoy the NBA playoffs. Yep, the NFL draft. The NHL playoffs. You got a lot of good sports coming on. You guys have a good week. Good night. Thanks, guys.
Daughter of mine, this is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine. Daughter of mine, this is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine.
Well, I'm coming out with a word in my mouth, filled with excitement to say what it's all about. For a long time, I've held this water in, let the floodgates open, let the miracles begin. I've prayed, and I've gone back 7 times, look again, cause the miracles are mine, stir the water. I'm about to step in like the pool of Bethesda, let the healing begin.
Daughter of mine, this is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine. Daughter of mine, this is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine.
It took a minute to get my composure right. For years it seems like I've been fighting for my life. Confusing times when my days resemble nights. But now this eagle is about to take flight and soar out of darkness to its revelation light. Though the waves are rough, I step out my comfort zone to walk on water, cause I know I'm not alone. God's got my back and reminds me I'm his own. His words are sweet in my mouth, they taste like a honeycomb. And faith has opened up my eyes. I've been through the fire, tested and tried. As I study God's word, I finally realize that my purpose I have to visualize, to bring the unseen from the realm of under night until I walk into the fullness of a purpose-filled life. Cause I'm light. Yes, I am light, and I shine bright. I am an investment of the Lord Jesus Christ. Not only am I light, I am salt. When I enter in, I add flavor to it all. I bring truth, there's no dispute. Jesus is the vine, and in him I take root. I am the head, and not the tail. I'm an overcomer made free to prevail. A a new design, a special kind. Ambassador followed by wonders and signs. I am light and I give